action.
Hey guys, what's up?
Not much.
Before I worked in a skate shop, I never realized that I was taking out the bearings in my wheels the wrong way. I actually damaged a few bearings here in the shop trying to replace customers until Leon showed me a much better way to do this. It's easier and you'll never damage a bearing. So for those of you that don't know, there's two sizes of wheel axle hardware. There's old school 6mm axle hardware, which is still found in a lot of K2 model skates, and the more current and more popular version, which is the 8mm axle hardware. So the difference being one's thicker than the other. You can see that there. So depending on what your thickness of axle hardware is going to determine what sort of bearing spacer is in your wheel. So here we have a bigger hole. The bearing spacer is in between the two bearings. You can't even see it at all. That's for 8mm hardware. And if you look in this one here, you can see that small ring just inside of the bearing there. That indicates to me that that's 6mm axle hardware. It's going to fit in there just like this. So there's two different ways to take out the two different sizes of bearings, of axle hardware rather. And I like to use this tool. This is a tool from Rollerblade called the RB Blade tool. We sell it here at Shop Task. The way that I would do it is for my 8mm setup. I just insert the top part of the bearing pusher and I pull up. So I'm not pushing through, I'm just pulling up to release the bearing. I'm going to put that spacer back in there, put the bearing back in there, and show you that again. Pull up. So you can do this at home by using a traditional Allen key. Same thing I just did there. Insert your Allen key and pull up. The bearing's going to pop out just like that. What I was doing in the past that damaged bearings was that I was pushing down. So the wheel came out of my skate like this, and I'd insert my Allen key and I would push this way through the bearing.
Push this way.
Pushing this way, that's right. And what was actually happening is that my Allen key was denting the bearing shield on the inside of the other bearing. And then once you've dented the bearing shield, the bearing no longer spins freely. So to prevent damaging your bearing shield, don't ever push on it. Set the wheel down on a hard surface and pull up towards you, just like that.
Just one advice, you can pull up if it's too hard to get it out one way, so try a little bit this way, then a little bit this way, then a little bit this way, and you keep on pulling it out, moving it until it comes out.
So with this tool, it's also just as easy to remove 6mm bearing spacers. So this time, I insert the top part into the bearing spacer, and I push through, and just like that, the bearing on the other side ejects.
So just to show you guys the difference, that's the 8mm, the more standard one that Rollerblade and Seba uses, and that's the less popular one that K2 uses. If you look at this, it fits right in. So the regular one are basically the same width as the bearing. It's exactly the same width, or the size of the circle. Now, Kenny, why do you need the spacers in the first place?
Oh, right. So if there's no spacer between the two bearings, what's going to happen is when you over-tighten your axle hardware, once the wheel's in the frame, the bearings are going to be pinched and they're going to stop spinning freely. So having that spacer in between there prevents the bearing from being squished when you tighten up the wheel hardware when the wheel's in. So the proper amount of space is maintained between the two bearings.
And nothing is pressing against the shield, basically.
Nothing is pressing against the shield. So yeah, I thought that was a helpful tip when I learned out about it. So I just wanted you guys to know. You can get the RB Blade tool at Shop Task. It also, in addition to the bearing pusher, has your Allen key and Phillips head. A really high-strength steel, so you're never going to strip your tool, and something really practical that most people have. And if you don't, get one. See you guys.